Let's talk Major League Soccer. All three Canadian MLS sides were in action. They were all at home, and they all won this week to varying degrees of success and confidence behind them from their respective supporters groups. Let us begin with Toronto FC and Austin. 2-1 at BMO Field. Oliver Platt. They cement their playoff spot against a team that's really struggled, Austin, this season. Are we very confident or very satisfied with where Toronto FC are, or are we still saying there's work to be done here to make something out of this season?
I mean, relative to where we thought they would be, I think they're doing pretty well. Like, it's difficult to get excited about this team right now because I don't think people see them obviously as an MLS Cup contender. They have off days. There's no question about that. But like, you have to remember, this team was 21 points out of the playoffs last season.
Yeah.
So I'm the first person to say that getting in the play-in game, in MLS is not really something to shout from the rooftops about. But you have to give John Herdman and this group some credit for that kind of turnarounds from where they were last season. You can say, look, they spend a lot of money. They should be at the top of the MLS, and I agree. But with the cards that Herdman has been given, I think he's done well to get the team in this position. They got a big 3 points at the weekend.
They have brought in a lot of players. Like, the team is completely different than the team that played a season ago.
But it's like
even players that were out
it's
through
like
injury.
bargain bin. It's all bargain bin stuff.
They were the ones doing the shopping. And it's not just that. They've Sean Johnson that came back into the team. Insigne that came back into the team. Like, it's not as if they, like, look, that was a horrible game. The quality was terrible. They held on. Austin had a far better XG in that game as well. And that's something that's a continuing habit. Like, Toronto FC continues to get outplayed to the XG every game. Their expected goal differential per 90 minutes, only 7 teams across MLS have a worse number than them. They've won 4 MLS games in their last 15. They've drawn 1, by the way. This team is backing its way potential. I'm not even sure they make the playoffs, guys. Like, they have a hard schedule coming home. Columbus is a very good team. Away at Colorado, they have the Canadian Championship game. Chicago's a winnable game. Then the Red Bulls and Inter Miami at home. Like, this is not a layup for this team. And I think the internal expectation is for them to make the playoffs. They still have a lot of work to do.
All right. Yesterday, Gareth, one of my favorite moments from match night was your call of Mr. Saliba to the 2026 starting 11 for Jesse Marsh, his CF Montreal group. They're looking good right now. They get another W at Stade Saputo.
Well, they've looked horrible over the last 4 or 5 weeks, but they had a good weekend. A 2-1 win over a good Charlotte team, and Caden Clark and Bryce Duke scored. And I think there's reason to believe that they'll be better next year because 7 of the players in the starting 11 were 23 years of age and younger. Alvarez at the back, good player. I'm huge on Nathan Saliba. So they have a little bit of a young foundation. They realize, what are we doing continuing to go in this direction? They got rid of some older players and they went very, very young. So this year, I'm not having it. Montreal's still well off it, but at least they're building to an identity. And there's a chance next year that they'll make a significant jump.
And Gareth, quickly, we talked about, we showed the goal. We talked about the Caps last night, but I'm waiting to hear Flower of Scotland at BC Place in the near future.
Which other Scottish players can they bring into this team? But now all of a sudden, I watched El Tráfico on the weekend, and Vanni Sartini maintained that the 2 LA sides are like a little bit above everyone else in the Western Conference. The West is way better than the East, but I think Vancouver are working themselves into that mix. We said that if they added another top attacking piece, then this is a team that can compete against the best in MLS, and they're solid defensively, and they brought in Stuart Armstrong. Put him with White coming back from a concussion. Gauld, Pico plays his part. Ahmed, Atakubi back in it. Like, this team has the potential to be very good. And dare I say it, maybe they should be a true contender taken seriously to win MLS Cup.
All right, that'll wrap up our MLS coverage for the weekend. Of course, we'll have a look ahead on Thursday. But right now, we have to get to our Visa Women's Football Report. Oliver Platt, last night on Match Night, a show you famously produce, you gave us a clip of Jade Rose scoring an unbelievable goal for the Harvard Crimson. It was a goal so nice, we said we have to show it again today in the Visa Women's Football Report. Ollie, let's get you to weigh in here. It's the Crimson, it is the Panthers, Jade Rose, a little Meg, and a lofted ball. As we take a look at the footage, I want to hear from you what you think of the Canadian international star. I don't want to say ruining that young woman's career, but certainly she's going to see that on the highlight reel for a hot minute. It made the Sports Center top plays down south.
I think it was number one, wasn't it? Like yeah, it's just kind of crazy that Jade Rose is like this World Cup and Olympic star and like one of the best players and one of the best national teams in women's soccer, and then she goes back and plays college soccer for Harvard. It's like, not surprised that obviously she looks a cut above at that level. Not a bad school to be at for your future prospect.
I'm gonna be the Grinch here, okay? Like,
oh dear,
this might be when keeping it real goes wrong. That was a cross. She intended to cross the ball.
It's a ball into a dangerous area,
and the goalkeeper. I mean, I don't even know what to say. So I'm keeping it real. Wonderful move to create. Jade
the Meg
Rose,
was outstanding.
Like one of Canada's best players, one of the best young center backs in world football. But that goal can be called a good move, a little bit fortunate. I think that's a fair assessment.
Well, Sports Center top 10 disagrees.
That's right. The top play said not a chance.
They've
great
never
goal.
got it wrong
And
before.
shockingly, Jade Rose has still not scored for country yet, but if she's got those moves in her locker, who's to say we won't see a little nutmeg action down the road from Jade Rose? Also, shout out to Janine Becky and Chloe Lacasse for scoring their first for Louisville and the Utah Royals in the NWSL this weekend as well. Today's Visa Women's Football Report, and now to wrap up the show with our TonyBet top picks. Alrighty, presented by TonyBet. This is our football lines, and we have a bit of a more hectic selection today with Champions League on Thursday coming up, which means we will not get a chance to talk about Champions League until Champions League has been played. So we're going to do it right now. The line that I'm going to offer you, Gareth Wheeler, Atalanta plus 295, the Gunners minus 113 away, or a draw plus 285.
Arsenal don't look like they're really going to concede many goals this season, but they're playing Atalanta, and every game is an over. If you're not watching Atalanta play every week, like, it's frenetic, it's fast, and there's plenty of goals. Take the over 2.75 at just about even money. I think there'll be some value on that one. By the way, a couple other quick plays. PSV against Juventus, play them on the spread. I like Sporting, I should say, over Lille this week. Apologies to Jonathan David fans and the fashion out there as well.
Oliver Platt on Wednesday on short rest for both clubs, the Halifax Wanderers and Pacific. Apparently, they are offensive juggernauts now. The over 2.5 is at plus 100, under 2.5 minus 139.
Is this, can I clarify, because I've got this wrong before, both teams?
Yes. Both teams combined.
Give me the over. Plus 100, over 2.5. I'm calling that game as well, so I want goals. Over.
Yeah.
Welcome to Copium, my friends. Yes, that's right, Wheels. You're saying under here?
Not that much.
The game has underwritten all over it. Midweek.
Stalemate midweek. It could be. We'll hope for goals, certainly Ollie and I in the booth. Let's go back to you, Ollie. MLS odds, Toronto FC plus 229, hosting Columbus minus 105.
Columbus are a pretty nice number there, minus 105. I'll take the Crew.
There's been value on Columbus all season long. If you haven't been taking a look on TonyBet, I'm thinking about putting my child's education fund on Columbus to win this game on Wednesday.
Well, when
if not, it'll end up like me.
When.
Not very intelligent.
There's a lot riding on this one.
Yeah, Win Wheeler hoping for a big Crew result this week, and otherwise, GoFundMe will be started on next Monday's show. That's it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us on One Soccer today. For Oliver Platt and Gareth Wheeler, I've been Adam Jenkins. When I'm crossing my fingers for your brother, need a big Crew win.